Yeah.
So, Man and Mohit, I mean, I'm sure you all both have had very low moments, right? And I'm sure those low moments look different as a solo founder and as a co founder.
I would say there have been like two moments basically in my entire journey. The first was, as I told you, about my co-founder leaving in a year's time, because that time I was like just 24 years old. We had just started the business, and at that time he said he wanted to take a break from it. And at that time I had no direction whatsoever. I had just gotten into it, and he said he wanted to leave, and he was handling a lot of the existing clientele and focusing on the things that were already established, and I was a lot more driven about trying out new things. But when you have an established business, you have to take care of what is already in hand. So that was a big low point for me, and I was really scared about it because I didn't know what I was supposed to do, if I was going to be able to manage, if I was going to be able to take care of the team and all of the people that we interact with. But then again, as time passes, you get a hang of things. You know, you just have to be patient in business, I feel. And that was my learning out of it, that I'm not going to have a solution to it right on the day itself. Just be patient, go through your motions and go ahead with it. And the second moment, honestly, I feel like before I pivoted, right, we didn't have as much control over things. And as a person, I found it very demeaning when I was informed by my corporate clientele or like existing clientele about the fact that the services weren't good enough, because like we focus very heavily on reviews, and even today like we're one of the highest rated services in Bombay. And when you get that kind of negative feedback from clients, and you're sort of berated sometimes, because ultimately when the call comes to me, they've been through 2 to 3 layers of like feedback, and there has been an experience which they haven't liked at all. And then that's when I was like, okay, this is enough. I don't want to go ahead with this anymore. I need to stop this completely. And yeah, that's when I was like, I need to change things up. So that low point was a phase. It wasn't like a one day moment when I was like, I need to change things. It just so happens that I'm from the kind of background where it wasn't necessary for me to get into it. It was more out of choice that I wanted to do business, and because it's something that I really liked and enjoyed. Like during my second year of college, I worked on this business just a little bit, and I was working for 18 hours a day without a sweat. Nobody had to tell me to take care of this. I just used to get up at like 7 a.m. in the morning, sleep at 1 a.m. at night.
And this is while we were at National Law University.
Yeah, while I was at National Law University. I'd come to Bombay for like a 2 month break, our internship breaks, right, that we used to have, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was like, this is what I want to do. But obviously, I was coaxed by my dad to like complete the degree, not leave it just in the middle of it. So yeah, this was always in the back of my mind that I might want to get into it later, but I wasn't so sure about it. And but then yeah, like when I did come back to Bombay, I first worked on the makeup school, and then I got into this. So yeah, but again, like as I was talking about how I'd never needed to do the business, right? And I think that's worked out both ways for me, in the sense that it's been great that I've been patient with it and I've had the bandwidth to take it forward slowly. But also that like when you talk to people, you're not desperate for business, right? And that gets you a lot more business, I feel, in the long run.
Okay. Wow.
Because especially when you're dealing with high profile people, if you're too needy for the business, you don't get it. And this was something that I learned when I was working with my sister on the makeup school. We were talking to like the most high profile makeup artists of the country. You can't be desperate for business in front of them. That you have to give the other person a value proposition of how you're going to improve their life by them dealing with you. The low point that I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because I had time on my hands, I wasn't too
Correct.
desperate to get all of the things sorted right then and there. This business has grown today because of the fact that I had time to grow it. If I was so desperate to grow it right away, it wouldn't have grown to where it is today. So yeah, I think just having time, being patient with things just helps in life generally. That's been my learning curve with respect.